How did couples make love in the 1960s UK? Let's find out. The 1960s, a time of peace, love, and music. And what would a groovy decade be without its unique approach to romance? Today we're retaking a trip back in time to explore the intimate moments of couples in the UK during the swinging 60s. But before we delve into the bedrooms of the past, remember to show your support. Like this video, subscribe and hit that notification bell so you never miss any of our fascinating historical tales. During the 1960s in the United Kingdom, relationships and intimacy often operated within the framework of traditional social norms and expectations. With less overt communication about sex than is common today, couples might have expressed affection and desire through physical closeness, subtle gestures, and established patterns of interaction within the context of courtship and marriage. Here are some ways how couples made love in the 1960s UK. Traditional gender roles. Traditional gender roles were more rigid, with men expected to be the pursuers and women expected to be more passive in expressing their desire. Women were often expected to wait for a man to make the first move and to reciprocate affection rather than initiating it themselves. Men, on the other hand, were expected to be bold and confident in their romantic pursuits. A lack of open communication. Open discussions about sex were less common in the 1960s, and couples often relied on nonverbal cues and established routines to navigate intimacy. This could lead to misunderstandings or a hesitancy to express one's true desires, relying instead on established norms and traditions. The importance of social norms. Societal pressures to marry young and conform to traditional expectations played a significant role in shaping relationships and sexual behavior during this period. Many couples felt compelled to follow a conventional path, which could influence their decisions regarding intimacy and marriage. So how did couples actually go about making love in this environment? Well, it was a time of evolving norms, but tradition still held a firm grip on societal expectations. Courtship was often a drawn-out process, sometimes involving chaperones, with the ultimate goal of marriage in mind. Physical affection, when shown, was usually within the bounds of what was considered appropriate for the time. Subtle gestures, like a gentle touch or a stolen kiss, were the norm. Holding hands might have been common, but it was likely done in public with decorum. When it came to the bedroom, the 1960s did see some shifts. The sexual revolution was gaining momentum, and with it, a questioning of traditional sexual norms. However, for many couples, particularly those who were more conservative, the bedroom remained a space where propriety was still respected. Remember, this was a time when even mentioning sex openly was considered taboo by many. It wasn't until later in the decade that things really started to change. The sexual revolution, which began in the 1920s, picked up steam in the 60s, thanks in part to the invention of the birth control pill, which gave women more control over their sexual desires and reproductive health. This, coupled with changing attitudes towards sexuality, led to more open discussions about sex and a greater willingness to experiment. However, it's important to note that the 1960s, while a time of significant change, was not representative of the entire United Kingdom. Different social classes and regions had varying attitudes towards sexuality and intimacy. While some couples in urban areas might have been more open and experimental, others in more conservative communities might have adhered more closely to traditional norms. All in all, the 1960s was a time of transition. Traditional values were being challenged, but it wasn't quite the freewheeling era of sexual liberation that would come later. For many couples in the UK during the 1960s, love was expressed and intimacy was shared within the confines of societal expectations, a time when hearts were on their sleeves and hips were swaying to the beat of a changing world. What do you think about the way couples made love in the 1960s UK? Let us know in the comments section below. We'd love to hear your thoughts. And if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to show your support. Like, share, and subscribe to our channel for more fascinating historical tales. Until next time, keep exploring, keep asking questions, and keep learning.